Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego City 4x4 fire truck with rescue boat set. This is set number 60412. It has 301 pieces and I paid $28 for this. This set retails for $35. 20% off would be $7 off, bringing us down to $28. I'm not sure if I've seen this one at bigger discounts than that in the past, but I am really interested in this. I did like a lot of the other kind of fire response stuff that I've looked at that I feel like is very similar to this, like the plane. There was one that was similar to this, and a few other fire sets that I thought came out maybe in the last couple years that are following this same kind of scheme here, and I really liked those. This one looked really interesting to me, and so I decided to pick it up finally, and now in this video I'm going to open it up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego City 4x4 truck and fire rescue boat set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So we start out here building the truck. It's pretty straightforward. This is a 5+ set rather than like a 4+, but it's pretty standard for other Lego City vehicles. We do have some nice functions, nice features in this, as well as some good amount of storage, which I always really appreciate. And I like that it's thematically very similar to other fire rescue stuff that came out around the same time. So we're finishing up the main truck here, and then we can move on to the boat and the trailer. So first we do the little boat here, which starts off with a starter brick. I believe that does float. I didn't say it didn't on the box. And then we work on the trailer. This is pretty simple, but looks really good. It's pretty effective and does add a lot to it. And then once we finish that up, we work on the final bag of pieces, which is this little terrain campsite here, which comes together pretty quick. It's not super detailed, but it's just enough to feel right in this kind of set. And then that's it. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here is the Lego City 4x4 fire truck with rescue boat set. This is cool. It's about what I expected, but this is a solid set. I think this is a good idea, executed pretty well. And overall, I think this is sort of, like I was saying, there's sort of a line of fire rescue stuff that's like similar, and I think there was the fire rescue boat, which had some similar stuff to it, which I did end up really liking that one. The fire rescue plane I really liked. That had a similar aesthetic, and kind of, it seems like they're all maybe part of the same fire station and stuff, which I really liked. And so this is pretty cool. So we will get into it, and the first thing we will look at are the minifigures. You get 3 minifigures in this set, and the first one I'll show is actually this one. This is maybe the camper. There's 2 fire rescue personnel and 1 kind of camping person who maybe needs rescuing. So this is the camper. I feel like, well, first they have a fork here, which is nice for an accessory. Hair is pretty good. We do have like some sideburns going down, pretty startled expression, looking pretty scared, maybe scared of fire, different stuff. I think I've seen this torso before for other rescue things. I don't know if it was that rescue helicopter one maybe had this torso as well paired with these legs, but I'm not positive. So it looks like a little vest, kind of a zip up vest or coat with a little kind of forest, almost like a emblem there. There's a lot of brands and stores that make stuff that looks quite like this, but it's pretty good. Nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs, nothing on the arms. We actually do get an alternate face, which is really nice, which is a little less scared or yelling or screaming, so kind of a different face there. But again, get the sideburns, which is nice. Back of the torso, pretty bare there. A couple little details on the back, and that's all good. And then you get, like I said, 2 other characters, 2 firefighting personnel. So the first one we will look at is the first one you put together in the first bag of pieces. So this is one of the fire rescue, firefighter type people. They do have the minifigure accessory axe there. And this is a pretty standard fire rescue torso and legs that a lot of the characters have for those various sets. So I think same ones in like the fire rescue plane, some of the same stuff in the fire rescue boat, as well as this one. So I think that's pretty good here. The face does have glasses printed on there, no alternate face, nice hair kind of in these little buns up there. Got a little like meter or dial, little like carabiner clip over here, harnesses, reflective stuff, high visibility stuff, different pockets. Nothing on the midsection. The legs are printed, nothing on the arms. Back of the torso has the kind of fire rescue logo there, which is really nice and reflective. Another little buckle back there. And then they do have hair, but they also have a fire rescue helmet, which is very good. This is the dual molded with that really, really high visibility yellow, as well as the black. And then we put a visor over there. So good to get that. I like that they're doing the hairpiece and the helmets now. It seems like they weren't doing that for a little while, and I'm really glad that they do. I think that's a good idea. Allows for more interesting play, and I just think it's really, really good. And then the other one we have here is another fire rescue person, but I believe, per the instructions, this is maybe the one that might be operating the dinghy or the boat there. So again, we have a face here with like some sweat or some water on it, just kind of maybe a concerned expression, no alternate face. Hairpiece is really, really nice. This one does have a flotation device life vest on them, which is good, and if they're going to be on the boat, which is nice. If we take that off, we can see the torso is very much the same as the other one. I don't think there's any oh no, there's a little bit of difference. So yeah, there's a little bit of difference because this one has kind of red up at the top and this one has black, so up at the collar is a little different. Coming off the 1 meter over here, there's some extra detail, and this is in a little different place, the little clip over there. So this is a different torso, which is nice to see, even though they're pretty similar. I think the legs are the same at the very least, so that's fine. Good to see that. I do like that those are different. It's subtle. It might be hard to spot, but I think that red portion up top is probably the best indicator that they might be different. And then the back of this character also has a fire emblem kind of on the back, but again, the red is different there, so that's very good. And kind of a different utility belt with different pouches, a different style kind of buckle or clip thing on the back there, which is nice. And then this character also has, instead of the hair, they also have a helmet, which is not like the firefighting helmet like this one. It's just kind of the spaceman helmet or pilot helmet or whatever in the high vis yellow with the visor, and that is for maybe when they're operating the boat or something. Again, really great to get the hair and the helmet. I think that's very nice. And those are the 3 minifigures, so they're all different from each other. There's no like reuse stuff except for maybe the legs here. but the torsos are different, faces are different, hair pieces are different, heads are different, all of that. And then we have kind of maybe the pedestrian or the person in need of rescue, as well as their accessories. So overall, I think that's all pretty darn good. And then the rest of the set is this 4x4 fire truck and rescue boat, and then this little camping scene, this little kind of landscape here. I'm going to kind of go through this in the order that you build it, which means I'm going to start with the 4x4 fire rescue truck here. Now, I've built stuff kind of like this before, and that's fine. I think this is well done. I really, really liked this. It's pretty simple, doesn't take up a ton of pieces, it's got good weight to it, and the build was pretty enjoyable here. So we'll go through it. Doesn't start with a traditional like chassis or a starter brick. We just start with a 2x12 or whatever that is, put on the kind of axle plates in there, and then kind of build our way up. And we extend out the back a little bit here, extend out the front just a little bit. There's not a ton of like studs on the side, at least for most of the profile of this. We do have like what looks like some stuff that's, you know, some tiles, some different things, these modified plates with the rail coming off of it, which is good. We have the fender pieces here, and we also kind of use these inverted slopes, this piece, but like flipped around to kind of make a brick built fender in there as well. And then we have the nice stripe of the high-vis yellow, which is consistent with a lot of these fire rescue things, which I really, really like. And above that, we have the truck. We have the seating area there. This is 4 wide, maybe a little bit wider with the wheels and with the fenders here, as well as kind of the tank on the back. But this is really, really nice. We got a little side mirror here. We do have doors on this, so working doors using those little pieces there, so you can open up the doors. We also have some storage in the walls, so we have a couple of these crates, and in this one I have a couple of translucent tiles in there. Other side is very much the same, just kind of mirrored. So you have the working door, and we have the kind of crate or box over here for some storage, which is really, really nice. Looking at the front, I like how the grill was done. Actually using these like ratchet joint pieces there without anything in them is a kind of nice little detail thing here. It's tiled out, no license plate or anything. There are no stickers in this set, which is great, which means everything is printed. So that means this is printed up here. So we have the roof, we have some lights up there, the windscreen. I like how the hood of this is done as well, with that tile and kind of these slopes here, the little rail coming out, and then the like flat gear kind of grooved thing there. All that's really nice. The roof piece comes off very, very easily. Studs down right here, studs down right here, and there's a little bit of storage in this, so you can get things in here, and I wouldn't be too concerned about them falling out. It might be hard to get access to once they're in there, but not terrible. So we do have a little bit of room back there, but I think ideally that's sort of where maybe a bunch of water is located and stored. So that is fine. We can fit a character in there. Oh, maybe it's not 4 wide, it's 6 wide. My mistake. It's always 6 wide, but then a little bit wider, almost out to 8 wide with the fenders and everything. So 6 wide here, just center steering. There's really basically room just for one minifigure to drive this, and that's okay. I'll pop them in there. And I believe they can fit in there with their hair or their helmet. You might have to lean them a little bit. Got them with their hair in there, and we can kind of see what that looks like driving in the center, which is typical for a lot of city vehicles. Not all of them, but that is fine. We would have, you know, place to put the axe if we wanted to, probably. In the very least, we could like clip it somewhere or something like that. Looking at the back, then we do have like the hitch where the trailer can attach. There's a two clips back here that hold stuff. So I just put the axe there on the back, and then we have this, which is maybe like a fire extinguisher, fire hose type of thing. Up top, like I said, we have the light bar. We have kind of like a ladder or maybe like a rack to tie things down to the roof of this, which is really nice. Printed number 2 here, 02, same on the other side, so that's good. And I'm trying to remember, I don't know what the fire rescue boat number was. It could have been, I thought that one might have had a number on it somewhere, and the plane, I believe, also had a number on it somewhere, so kind of indicate that these are all different vehicles, maybe from the same kind of department, same base that would operate out of. And I think, let me see here if I can find that the plane was maybe 5 or something like that, and this one's 2. The boat here is 3. Maybe there's a different boat that's 4, but good to get printed stuff there. And then, yeah, we have this fire extinguisher using the white stud shooter or tile shooter there, so that can come off. I do have one of those clear translucent tiles in there now, kind of indicate water. And then we have the spool back here. So this is connected with a string, a Lego string with the stud, and you can kind of unfurl this a bit, and it's connected to that spool, so you have about that much room. And I think maybe that's supposed to be a string, maybe it's supposed to be a hose. I like that it's kind of connected to the back, so I can imagine that the tank of water that's maybe on the back of this vehicle is pumping through there and then coming out here, which is really nice. This can then be operated by maybe one of the fire rescue people or something like that, which is very cool. And yeah, I like that it wraps up nicely. I think the string could have been a little bit longer. That probably would have been nice, but it's all right. And then you could stud this down to either side. You could also like operate this or clip this onto either side. You could operate this while this is clipped, but it's not maybe the most ideal angle there for something like that. And then that's kind of everything here, which it's pretty good. So we have the character in there, we have this stuff here, and I imagine, I do have the couple translucent tiles in here as well. And the other side is empty. I want to say we could fit a helmet in there, but maybe not this one. I'm actually not sure. So maybe that could go in the back if we wanted it to. And potentially the spaceman helmet could go in the kind of compartment on the side. It's maybe a little bit tricky. You might have to get it just right to be able to close all the way, or maybe it's not possible to have that in there at all. I do also wonder, you could put at least one hair piece in the side. I think that's all good to have the option to do that, to get more storage. It's always appreciative, especially for projectiles. So I really like that they have a couple spaces for there, even though this helmet doesn't fit, this helmet might not fit either. They might be also able to be just put just inside here, something like that. And that's not put that on backwards. That's not too bad either. So good to see that. I always appreciate extra storage, and overall I like the look at this. I like the color blocking is really good. The stripe of yellow, the little blue through here. I'm not so sure about the blue that I can see underneath there. Maybe that I would have liked red, but I think for ease of building is maybe why they did that. And for the most part, it's not going to be seen. There's no steering, there's no suspension or shocks or anything on this, but it does have good wheels, good weight to it, and it rolls fine, which is nice. And then it does have the hitch on the back, because this 4x4 fire rescue truck also can haul this fire rescue boat here, which is very cool. And that's what we will look at next. And actually, you kind of put together the trailer before you do the boat. Let me get all this stuff out of here now. So looking at the trailer, again, it starts off somewhat similar. 6 wide again, just 2 wheels here, and this is super simple but really nice. So the wheels back here are a little bit smaller. Do have some lights on the back. We have kind of a rack or kind of an area where a boat could be stored, and then we just have where it connects, so that ball joint on the end there can go right in here, and it has pretty good range of motion. You can kind of get almost to a 90-degree angle, not quite 90 degrees, but close to it, which is good. This doesn't look terrible on its own either if it would need to be detached, which is fine. And this is all pretty basic. It feels nice and finished, nice and tiled out with all these different slopes. We do have the red, we do have that very high visibility yellow, same up front, which is nice. And then there's a spot here where the boat can be stored or hauled or transported, which is good to see. And then we have the boat. So this one does use kind of a starter brick here. It's sort of this raft kind of piece. It's a big piece. I think this one floats, which is good. You don't really do anything to the bottom of it. First thing you do is put a bracket on the back, and then maybe this motor. I don't know if it's an outboard motor or a small motor, using kind of these swirly pieces and kind of that gunmetal gray kind of color there. And then we had a couple clips for some more accessories. So we have a walkie-talkie or a radio here. We also have some binoculars, and then we put these slopes over there. Those have the number 3 printed on them, which is good to see. And then we have some lights on the side, center steering, as well as like a seat back there. So another character could be operating this in a river, in a lake, in a pond, wherever, to maybe rescue or to get kind of close to someplace maybe where the 4x4 can't go, where the camper might be located. And this is all really nice. Very, very simple, not a ton of pieces in this, but the kind of boat hull raft thing here is a big piece and is an interesting mold. Pretty common, but it still, production-wise, does take a bit. There's a lot of plastic in there. And then this can kind of be studded down on here, and it just connects with those 4 studs. Takes up a good amount of space. I like how it looks when it's on there. I think all of this is quite good. It's very easy to take off. It's very easy to put back on, so not an issue, and I think that's very, very good. So this could be on there, they could be driving up, they could get off, pull this off, maybe leave this attached, or they could drop this off on the shore and drive the 4x4 somewhere else to try to maybe use the hose or something. There's not really fire extinguishing resources on the raft, but I think it's reasonable to put the kind of stud tile shooter thing out on the front of the boat, or also in the minifigure's hand while they're operating on this, just so they can try to extinguish some fires that maybe is too far for the truck there, and I think that's good. I'm actually a little bit surprised there's not like another one of these or a little more kind of stuff. So just having the one is maybe the one element where I think they could have done a little bit more, and if they had another one of those, I think that would have been good, just to have one on the boat and have one stay with the truck. And now I've got this all tangled up. Let me get that studded back on there and roll this all up here. And that's kind of the truck and the boat and the trailer. So a nice thing, nice toy, good amount of play here, good couple vehicles. And then we have the landscape, which is where this camper is, and this is really cool too. So this looks like they're on maybe an island, on a little beach, on a shore here. So we do have a little bit of like what looks like a wooden kind of thing that goes out into the water, and we have the impression of that this is the shoreline and this is some of the water, so the boat could kind of pull up here. A little bit of trees over on the side, very, very basic, but good. And then we have this camping setup, which is a tent You can see the sleeping mat or sleeping bag and a pillow in there. The tent just uses 2 of these kind of bigger flag or panel pieces to close up, a nice color for those. And then we have a little bit of a camp stove here. So it's a round jumper and then a minifigure head in kind of that orangish color. We have a little pan there and then the egg tile in there. So maybe this character is out here cooking an egg in the morning or something, and that's all quite good there. There's space in there, you know, for these kind of beds. There's not like a great way to stud them down as they're sleeping, but you can have them in there and that's fine. The egg is not studded down either, but that's okay. And then we have a little bit more of some play function, which is these little sort of fire things. It could be that these are logs. These are inverted tiles, the 1x3. We have 2 of the kind of smaller little flame and then the slightly bigger one in there. And those can kind of be presented around the campfire. Maybe something happened with the camp stove. Maybe the camper did not fully extinguish a campfire before they went to bed. Maybe, you know, the coals were still warm and it started up unexpectedly. So maybe they are here and panicking and call for help, and the fire rescue and boat does come to the rescue. The thing might not get close enough. Maybe there's a stream between them, so this character might take the boat, something like this, and get up close to there, or close as is safe. And let's see here. There we go. And maybe they kind of get over there and then use the stud shooter, tile shooter to try to put out the fire. And let's see if I can get one of these to knock over here. Little bit tough there. Just because pushing down on this does, let's see here. Whoa. Okay, well, I might have lost that. That bounced very far, and I missed the flame. But because these are inverted tiles, they don't stud down. These are very easy to knock over or to move around. They're just on there, just resting. So if you were to hit them with a tile, they would probably fall over or fall into the river or whatever. And I think that's good for play. That did take a crazy bounce, and I was not prepared for it, so I'm going to have to find that. I don't know if I have another one of those translucent tiles readily available to me, but that is okay. And then, you know, there's not great amount of room for this character to maybe like come back off the shore with the fire rescue group. There's not really room for this character to ride in the boat or anything, but there's probably some way to get around that by, you know, removing some of these accessories and stuff, and maybe they can stand kind of in the back. Maybe they would have left their fork back at the campsite, and then if these aren't, you know, clipped on here anymore, these are also things that could be stored maybe in one of these side containers. The binoculars there could be stored over here if we wanted it. So there's some options for different kind of storylines and play sequences and lots of good stuff. So I think that's really, really nice. Overall, the landscape is pretty basic. You know, I think the tent is well done. I've seen them do tents like this before. You do get a couple of these nice rounded plates here, which is good. Those are relatively big. The trees are fine for this. There's not a ton of room here. There are a lot of studs, but this would maybe add on to something else, a bigger shoreline. But as a standalone thing, I think this is pretty good. There's not a ton of room for like having more people at this campsite or more people sleeping in this tent, but they could be modified or added together to kind of expand this a bit, and I think that's all very, very nice. And I think that's everything in this set. So you get the landscape, you get the little fire, you get the tent, you get 3 minifigures, 2 fire rescue personnel, and 1 camper who may be in need of saving. And we get extra hair pieces for the fire personnel. We do get projectiles and storage for them for the fire extinguisher or for the water or the hose or whatever there. You have the little boat, the little dinghy with that starter brick, and you have the little brick built trailer there. And all of that kind of combines together to be a pretty nice looking set. This is a good amount of Lego here for for the size of the box and the price and the piece count. This is pretty darn good, I would say. I do like that there's no stickers, it's all prints, and I think that's everything. So I'll show the extra pieces now. You get 3 of those translucent tiles. So I had 1 in here and 2 in the kind of compartment there. I did lose 1 just now, but you do get an extra one of those, like as one of the extra pieces, as well as this kind of sprig, the fork, some Technic stuff, an extra of the string, which could be used to connect to the other string and extend that out a little bit, but I don't know if you stack these studs, if they're gonna spool up as nicely. A little bit of fire in there. You do get an extra of the egg tile, all your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, your plates, your little pieces there, your light pieces, and of course, yeah, the extra kind of projectile there. And this set is 301 pieces, 3 minifigures, and I paid $28 for this set. Retails for $35. So, for $28, which is what I paid, I think this is pretty good. This is a good amount of stuff, and trying to figure it out, like breaking it down, if the truck is maybe 10, the trailer's maybe 5, maybe the boat is 5, and that's $20 there. Maybe this is 5 over here, plus the tires, plus like the big starter brick. Maybe that makes that more, and the minifigures. It feels like there's at least $30 worth of Lego here. I think the design is pretty good. The build is pretty good. There is a lot of play potential, and I like that it fits in with all of the other fire rescue stuff that released alongside this. So I think that's a pretty good deal. At $35, it probably still makes sense. I think, I don't know if I value all these at $5 a minifigure, but even if it was $3 a minifigure, that's still, $9 up there, or maybe it's even less than that, but that is some value. 3 characters with the alternate hair, the alternate helmets, stuff like that, and then a pretty substantial 4x4 truck, a kind of small boat, but the boat plus the trailer is really good and does like double the length of this and adds a fair amount to the build. And then the kind of terrain campsite here is a little bit small, but also about what is expected. And I feel like in culmination, everything here all combined, 35 might make sense for this. I know like the fire rescue boat, for example, the other one I was talking about, that I believe retailed for $30, and it had kind of a little raft that was on fire in a different color, and then it had one of those boats with like the big hull that was like hollow. That one had less than 200 pieces, less than 150 pieces. It had 144 pieces and was $30. I did get that one on sale as well, but that is just to say, like, that compared to this is more building and more stuff going on than that boat. So 35 and I guess same amount of minifigures. Didn't have like the terrain in the same way, but this one's got a nice kind of land and sea kind of thing here, which is good. I mean, all that's to say is I think $35 is probably fair. I maybe would have liked it to be $30 just right out of the gate, just 301 pieces. But like I said, this is a big piece here. And then we have, the tires and some other stuff, no stickers, so all the printed pieces. And that might make up that extra $5 on there. $30 would have been great. It would have been $10 per piece, or 10 cents per piece rather. Right now we're a little bit off of that, but considering I got this 20% off, we're under the $30 mark, which is great. If it was at 30 and I only paid 24 for this, I would think that's a really good deal, which would still be 20% off, but you know, $28 is perfectly reasonable for this set here, I would say, especially once I get into like breaking down the value of all the component parts, which is really, really good. So I think I got a good deal. I think this is really fun, well designed, good little build, nothing like revolutionary as far as building techniques goes, but overall it's nicely done. I think it looks really good, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I think that's it. I think I got a fair deal, and I like it. So that's it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more LEGO City, more fire rescue stuff, and then tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. That stuff helps me a lot, means a lot to me. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way by giving money to the channel, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. That's just like if you get value out of my videos, or you want to support the channel for whatever reason, and you can afford to, or whatever. If it's something that someone wants to do, there are ways for them to do that, and it does really, really help, and it all goes back into the channel. So I really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.